All right, welcome to an episode of Real Estate versus Technology. If you're someone out there that kind of banging your head against the wall, high interest rates, low inventory, want to get your real estate license, and you want to learn from someone who's with EXP, who's only been with EXP for 3 years up in Canada, has a family. She comes from broadcasting, and then now she's hit icon. So she's someone that definitely has a positive mindset to really crush it in this industry. Speaking of people crushing it, our co-host is crushing it. Just looked on stage at the Real Broker event over in San Diego, California. What's up, Dan? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, no, glad to be here again and again and again. And this is going to be a good podcast. Sorry for my connection issue. I'm on my phone for the very first time.
Well, we're going to roll with it. So let's bring the one and only Jenny in all the way from Canada, and welcome to Real Estate versus Technology. Looking forward to hearing from you and your stories. And how's your morning starting off?
Oh, it's going great. I'm actually in the afternoon already because of the time difference. So I'm in the future from you guys. All looks good, guys. Nothing to worry about. The future looks good.
So what time we got for you?
Right now it's 3:30 p.m.
Oh my God, 11:30 for me.
There you go.
Okay.
But no, it's an honor to be here. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And we're in the future. I love it. So this show is all about you, your business. We want to go deeper into your experience getting into real estate and going through the process of growing your business and coming up with those SOPs, the standard operating procedures, KPIs, focusing on the income producing to, have the success that you're having, especially in a market that we're having right now. I know this year is a little wonky with this inventory and interest rate situation, but we'll love to kind of just start off with your backstory. So we know you came from broadcasting, doing some things a while back in that stage, a mom, right, of 2, and now an icon agent EXP. Let's get a little bit of your backstory.
Absolutely. So I actually grew up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And about 5 years ago, we decided to move here with my kids, my husband, my children, just looking for a calmer lifestyle, more family time. We were in that rat race. So we moved to the lovely province of New Brunswick. And New Brunswick is east coast of Canada, where homes are very affordable. We're still one of the most affordable markets in the entire country. 2 years into being here, I said, you know what, I've always, wanted to plunge into being a realtor, but I was always afraid because of that commission aspect to it. I was always afraid of commission work. And you know what, coming here from selling your home in Ontario, which is like 3 to 4 times more, we were able to pretty much be mortgage free here. I said, you know what, it's a good opportunity to do it. Why not? Let me do something that I've always wanted to do and not have that, huge pressure of meeting paycheck to paycheck kind of thing. Because I didn't know what commission work meant. Every time I would reach out to a realtor, they're like, well, make sure you take out a line of credit because you're not going to make any money for the first year. However, I couldn't do that because I had a full-time job and I've always been about, producing, right? I have kids, I want to lead a certain lifestyle. I want to be able to put them in sports and so on. So I went to real estate with the mentality that I was going to make it my first year and so on. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't start off with EXP, like 6 months into my career or getting my realtor license, I moved on to EXP. So it's going to be almost 3 years of me being with as a realtor, of getting my license, and 2.5 years with EXP. I got my second Icon Award in the mail this week. So I got an Icon Award per every year. And definitely I know I'll be getting it my 3rd year as well at EXP because that's what I'm striving for and that's what I'm working toward. And yeah, that's how I began. I began here as an agent without that sphere because all of my family is was in a different province. But again, with the mentality that I knew I had to make it, that I had no room to sink.
Wow. Okay. First off, I love the fact that and we've only had a few guests that said, we're not going to go with the status. A lot of seasoned agents say, you got to work with buyers. This is what it looks like. 6 months of savings. There's just always the same kind of mentality or thought process in that. So your first year, what did that look like? At what point did you get your first transaction? What did you close out at? If you don't mind sharing to inspire someone out there.
Absolutely not. So just to give you a bit of background, in New Brunswick, your average home is in the 300,000 range, right? 3 years ago, your average home was in the 200,000 range. So my first year as a brand new realtor, again, just new to the province as well, I closed 40 deals. So yeah, it's funny because again, to sell 40 houses in Toronto, completely different than to sell 40 houses here because of the price point, right? Because over there, your average home is 900,000. Over here, your average home is 300,000. So again, for me, it was funny because I remember telling my husband when I got my license, I said, I will guarantee you that my first year, I am going to bring in $100,000 in GCI. And he looked at me, he's like, right? And I just doubled that on my first year. So yeah. So again,
wow. Dude, congratulations. I just got to say that is amazing to be able to do that. And regardless of the price point, 40 transactions your first year for anyone at any point is huge.
Yeah. And I actually got my license in December when it's a little bit slow in December. But one of the things that I did was I joined Facebook groups, right? And in person, what I did is I went to a Walmart, bought like 50 tins of those Christmas buttermilk cookies. I don't know if you got anyhow, and I made handwritten notes and I went all around my neighborhood. I live in a small town and knocked on the door. And this was during COVID. So I had my mask on and I'm like, you know what, if they see me with cookies, they're not going to slam the door in my face. But I said, what I'm your neighbor, but I'm also a realtor and happy to help you. So that was my way of trying to get to let myself be known locally. But social media is really what has done it for me. Social media is what has grown my business.
Wow. That is absolutely awesome. So anyone who's listening and viewing out there right now, there is no limitations besides the limitations that you set yourself. And so you can right now, Jenny just said it herself. At the end of the day, she told her husband 100,000. She did more than that, 40 transactions. You don't have to listen to the status quo. That's huge. And getting a little bit more brass tacks. Like, so when you say social media, give us a little bit more like, what does that mean? Social media. How do you leverage that to potentially build a know, like, and trust and transact with someone?
Absolutely. So Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube have been really what have gotten me most of my leads. And I like to educate people, but at the same time, I like for people to know who I am. So again, when you look at my Instagram, I'm a mom, I have kids. So that's huge, right? And that's where the trust factor comes in. So when people reach out to me, they already know they want to work with me. They already know about my kids. They know them by name, which to a lot of people, I get it. It could be a little bit scary and getting you out of your comfort zone. But you know what? That's how people are going to trust you. And that's how, like I said, instead of you having to go chase a client, they're coming to you. So that's how I've been able to use social media. Like I said, absolutely. I love to educate people. But as we all know, even when we post those posts on Instagram or on Facebook about the market, which is great, super important because we are the professionals, you're going to get a lot more interaction on those personal posts where you post about your kids, what you did for the day, what you like to do. And really, it's a relationship that you're building with your clients.
Wow. I love that. I was actually on your Instagram looking at some of your stuff, just keeping it top of mind. And it's so true that the personal content is really going to be able to help people relate with you. The business stuff, the coming soon, that just sold the just list, it's like, oh, that's cool. Congratulations. But you never know. Someone potentially could be looking for a listing in the area, which is great. And YouTube. I love YouTube. More and more people are getting on YouTube. It's something that we preach and lift off agent side, where Instagram's like social media is there for for entertainment, and then YouTube's more for education. I mean, my toilet's leaking. I have an issue with whatever, which is huge. And I know that, Dan also does a lot with that as well, with the YouTube side and social media and a lot of education as well. So that's awesome that it's working. And I think whoever's listening to you right now, go check her out, go look at her links and see what she's doing. Because there could be some things out there I think someone can take today and to apply to their business.
Absolutely.
A couple of my questions, I think that'll help our audience and also get to learn a little bit more about you is like, are you geo-specific focused, zip code centric? Are you making those videos to build a farm? I know you said you're doing a lot of education pieces, but like ultimately, who is your ideal client where you work?
Interesting.
Okay, so funny enough, again, because I moved here from another province, I have learned to see that my ideal client, or at least the people that reach out to me and I connect with the most, are people moving out of province. So those people that are families relocating, and locally families as well, again, because they have that connection. Okay, she's a mom, she has kids, around our age. And with YouTube, I've been able to do that, right? So I've been able to do videos saying, what were the 5 reasons why we moved to New Brunswick, cost of living in New Brunswick, all those things that a lot of people that are out of province are looking for, right? And that's how they have been able to find me, because exactly what you said, YouTube right now, we're all looking at YouTube to get all of our, information, feedback, reviews and everything. Because whenever I'm like looking for something, I'm like YouTube, right? So that's where people find you, and that's how I have been able to get a lot of these leads. So I, at EXP, my sponsor is Mike Sherrard, and Mike Sherrard, he's one of the kings of YouTube, right? So I've been following it as to how he does it, how he recommends it, the blueprint. And there's one video in specific that's actually 5 reasons why me and my family decided to move to New Brunswick. I've had it up for 2 years, and it has, to date, I've gotten at least 120,000 in GCI from that one video, which is organic, right? So it's getting me leads while I sleep. So that's the beauty of YouTube. And I love social media. I love Instagram, but Instagram, it almost like it has an expiry date, right? Like you put those posts up and everything. But with YouTube, those videos continue to work and work and work and actually grow more. So yeah, I'm a big, a believer in YouTube.
I love that. Just want to say shout out Mike Sherrard, because he was on the show. Gotta check out his episode. This is before the Wolfpack, and I know Dan wanted to add to that. I could even see that could be Dan's next video.
Yeah, I mean it's the piece of the nugget, like that one video that you mentioned. Why me and my partner or my family moved to New Brunswick. Like, it's so simple. Like, marketing doesn't have to be overly strategic, or it doesn't have to be a recipe for somebody with a master's degree. I think ideally, if you can get in the head of your target market, like you have been able to, and be able to connect with them in these digital platforms, that's where the real estate agent can not generate free lead generation, but sweat equity lead generation. And I think, what's your goals going into 2024? Is it to just continue expanding that YouTube, continue expanding your exposure and audience in social platforms? Like, really, what's your marketing plan that you're going to kind of implement for this next year as things change, the market changes?
Absolutely. So YouTube is a big one for me, where I want to focus more. So obviously YouTube is long-form content. So it's not as easy as just doing a 15-second reel or a story on Instagram, which is where I'm really, really good at. And I could do, nice and quick. YouTube, you actually, have to have a script and do the editing and so on. So I really want to focus 2024 on YouTube, because again, I am proof that it works, that I am literally getting calls from people knowing they already want to work with me. How beautiful is that? Like, we have those tools. And something that I just want to throw out there is, don't, stop yourself from doing videos like YouTube because you don't have the right camera, or because you don't have the right lighting, or so on. That video I did on my iPhone, I didn't even have a mic, guys. I honestly, I just did it on my front porch, edited on my phone with CapCut, used some Canva footage, and it's out there. You know what I mean? And the return on that has been incredible. So don't stop yourself because you don't have the right camera, you don't have the right lighting. Just do it.
Wow. That is awesome. And I wanted to add some technical things. I had a meeting with Evan Carmichael, if you know who he is. He's big on YouTube. He's actually in Canada as well. And they say on YouTube, the sweet spot's going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And technically, you want to get up to 30 to an hour long videos, because people go on YouTube to learn, and they want to deep dive and all the things. And I looked at the video, 13,000 views on the one you're talking about, only 5 minutes. So it's short and sweet, to the point. But that just is a testament. You don't have to have, you don't have to hire Liftoff and do video editing and all the things to be fancy. You just need to, get out there, be your true authentic self, add value like you did. And I think that YouTube is going to be a huge part of what's next. You're seeing the Living in Dallas, Texas, Levi Lassick and Travis. You're seeing so many other people. Adam Hancock. I mean, that guy he was on our podcast as well, did $300 million since 2019 to present time. He's probably the biggest underground, you don't know who he is, agent out there that built his whole brokerage. Not to mention also Mike Sherrard as well, which is huge. So anyone who's listening and viewing, definitely some things to think about. YouTube to be able to scale, grow, automate, leverage your past efforts 2 years later. That's awesome, Jenny, that you actually know exactly, what that ROI was on that video.
Yeah, no. And again, I know I said, like, my whole point is, yes, get better, because I want my YouTube to get better. You know what I mean? To look more professional, better lighting. Now I actually bought a mic, you know what I mean? But to start, just do that first thing, right? Just go. Don't put all those, like, well, I can't because of this, I can't because of that, I'll do it tomorrow. No, just do it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome. Any advice on scheduling, or are you thinking 1 a week, 2 a week? Do you have like any suggestions or thoughts on that?
Well, like I said, right now my the main social media platform that I'm more constant on is Instagram and Facebook. So on Instagram, I'm posting at least 4 times a week, and I'm doing stories almost every day. And again, it's just keeping top of mind, right? Just making sure that even if people are just scrolling, they at least see you or see your face. They're like, oh yeah, that realtor, right? With YouTube, my goal for 2024, I want to do at least 1 story a week. So that is my goal for 2024. I am working on a plan. I definitely will be, reaching out because I do want it where I just record the footage and somebody does it for me. Because again, at the beginning, I'm like, even on my last video that I put out about a week ago, which was a follow-up to that original video. Okay, we've been here now for 5 years. These are our pros and cons, because now everything's not as rosy as when we just arrived. Edited, and it takes time. And this is where I'm like, no, I want to focus my time more on growing it. Even though I enjoy the editing, I'm not an editor. I'm a realtor, and I need to focus my time on that.
That's huge.
I struggle with that myself. Is that, like, I hate editing. It's funny, in college I had one course and it was video editing. I'm an ad major, marketing major, but it was just the one class I got a C in, and I hated it. I just hated sitting down and like moving the little clips and trying to paste things together. And I just don't have the patience for it. I'm more of a high D personality, like go, 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 go. But it was really interesting that you said that, because like there's that pivot point as a real estate agent where you're realizing, how much is my time worth? Exactly. And somebody can do this better than me. So when do I hand it off? And I still haven't technically handed off the editing yet, because I've been just shooting stuff raw. And we got to 10,000 subs and we were like, oh, this is fine. We don't need to do anything crazy. But I think that shift is coming, and we're trying to get more polished with it.
Absolutely.
100%. And I actually kicked off YouTube as well about 2 months in right now. And just a quick story is funny, because we do on the sponsor of the show, the video, thumbnail, copy, editing, building out that team. And so I just do Mondays filming content day, and then I get like a month. So we're off to Korea tomorrow, and then the Philippines, and going to be meeting a lot of our team, because they're actually in-house, even though a lot of them are overseas. And so we're going to go meet with them, talk with them, go through that process. And it's nice to see the evolution of the thumbnails, the copy, how things work. And then we actually met with someone who's over in Dallas, Texas. And I'm like, I'm going to send over the YouTube video. Here's some ideas and some suggestions. I already watched 17 of your videos. I'm good. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's amazing how you can leverage that for serving, supporting, giving information. And then someone would come back and be like, oh my God, like, yeah, this was great. I love this or that or whatever. And then how to do the short to Instagram, then long to YouTube, and to expand that. So I'm having some fun with it myself. And I also don't like editing as well. I did it for 2.5, almost 3 years, filming my whole family on YouTube. And that
every
was
Sunday.
That's awesome.
Right?
I do enjoy editing, but again, I'm here to be a realtor, not to be an editor. But again, because many years ago, I would say 20 years ago, I graduated from broadcasting, and editing was a big thing, right? We had to know how to edit video. So I do enjoy it, but I want to focus my time in growing my real estate business.
I love that. I'm excited to see how it grows and evolves over time, because that's going to be awesome to watch that whole process. And for what you've already had as far as success, I can only imagine you're going to be getting your 3rd reward next year.
Absolutely, I'm working to again. Mindset is powerful. Mindset with action, you become unstoppable. You truly do. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But you got no choice but to do it, right? You got to put yourself in a situation where you can't sink. You got to swim.
Yes, 100%.
We should have you back on here in like a year and a half, and kind of look at that journey where you are with everything, and
Be awesome.
as you take over Eastern Canada. It'll just be you and Sherrard competing for YouTube.
Yeah. Well, Mike is actually from New Brunswick too. Funny enough, Mike Sherrard is originally from New Brunswick. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I feel like right now, whoever's viewing and listening, like, this is something you want to jump on now. The whole getting on YouTube, doing the video content. I feel like it's something you want to get on now. People buy for something they know, like, and trust. So even if there is like Jenny and 5 other agents, let's watch 5 videos from 5 different perspectives. Oh, I like Jenny. Cool. Then they're going to pick you. It is what it is. So I think that, with that too, Google is starting to charge for the first 5 pages to be ranked. And now with Google doing that, you can't really, even with AI, replace video. I mean, yeah, they're starting to get into AI video, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think, human beings want to connect with human beings. People are going to see past the robot there. So I think that it's just untapped, and the potential is just amazing because Google obviously owns YouTube. So I'm excited to see the future of what happens in our industry, as a lot of agents, they said, 65,000 plus agents got out. So it's going to be interesting.
And it is interesting because here in New Brunswick, again, funny enough, like I said, I've only been here for 5 years, but even websites were not that common here because we are such a small province. So social media for realtors is a new thing for realtors here, right?
Yeah.
But I'm always telling people, I'm like, we have to adapt to the times, right? Because things are changing. People are door knocking still, realtors are door knocking, and that's fine. And, you can grow your business like that. But I also say, okay, so what, take an hour to do a YouTube video that's going to reach thousands, but then you're door knocking for 1 hour and maybe reach 10 homes, right? So your reach is exponential, right, in comparison. So why not take advantage of those tools? Why not take advantage of social media?
I'm going to get off this podcast episode, and my internet is out because they're digging up my entire street right now. But I'm going to shoot this exact same video that you just had so much success with.
I love it.
Because I relocated to Oregon. So you've inspired me to put something in action. So if you're watching this video and you do not have this video on your playlist, it is easy to turn on your camera and build a YouTube video about why you moved somewhere.
Exactly. Absolutely. And exactly what you guys said. It's not rocket science. It's just being real, being human, and putting something out there that people also want to hear. Again, people that are moving here with families, with kids. How was your experience, right? It's something as simple as that.
Wow. We're taking massive action right now here on Real Estate versus Technology. So whoever's listening and viewing right now, if you're going to take massive action too, we want to hear from you. Give us a comment, tag us in the video you put out there so we can all share the love, subscribe, comment on your channel and add some value there. And Dan, we're excited. Now we're going to see, not only we're going to have Jenny back on the show, we're going to have to see how Dan's video goes as well.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm on it. Let's do it.
Love it, love it, love it.
That's awesome. So as we get closer here to the end of the show, Jenny, we'd like to leave some massive value to our viewers and listeners. Obviously, they can go back to the podcast episode. There's tons of value here that they can already use, right? So what is something that you want to, something that someone could take right now? Massive action, opportunity, brass task, like here's A, B, C, D. This is what you need to do. So they can, and maybe it's the video that Dan's already getting ready to film. What do you want to leave our viewers and listeners as we close out?
Again, mindset. So just coming from a relatively new agent in a market where I was also new, mindset, who you surround yourself with is crucial. Before I got my license, I was already following my chart, and just that positivity, that energy of saying, yeah, you could do this. You're no different than the person next to you. It's just how much action you take. And it's incredible, one, how strong your mindset can be, when you pair it with action, and surrounding yourself with those positive people, those go-getters will motivate you. I'll just give you a quick example. How I got my first deal, because I know you asked me and I didn't answer it. I got my license in December. I was listening to a radio station of a CEO that was bringing his entire company to New Brunswick from Ontario.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? That's interesting. I sent him a letter being a week into having my license, brand new agent, to a CEO in Ontario. And I said, hey, I'm also like, I just relocated with my family. Happy to, if you want to jump on a call, just so I can let you know about my experience of what it is to move with kids here. I sent him a care package with that letter. So I sent him local products from New Brunswick, beer, stuffies for his kids. Honestly, I must have spent about $180, right? With shipping and what I put in there. Anyhow, he was so impressed by the fact that, I did it differently, where I wasn't like, hey, if you're looking for a home, here's my card. No, I reached out from the human point. I also moved. Happy to help you. By the way, I'm also a realtor. Nowhere there that I mentioned I've had my license for a week, right? I just
love it.
Anyhow, that led to seven closed deals. So his home, which has been the highest price point home that I've sold to date in my 3 years, and 6 other people from his family and workers that moved here. So that was all within 3 months of me being a realtor. So don't underestimate yourself. Go get it. If don't stop yourself saying, no, I can't do that. That's not going to work. Do it. What do you have to lose? You have more to lose by not taking action than actually taking action.
Wow. I just round of applause. That was 7 transactions, all from just one proactive opportunity to just think outside the box. And that's a testament to, Jenny, what you're doing to be different. And I feel like as soon as you know what you want and you are 100% committed to getting it, it doesn't matter how you get it. It just matters that you're going to have it. And so you did what it took, and you put in that massive action. And then now you had this opportunity to work with 7 additional families just because of the fact that you thought outside the box and did something different. And I almost feel like, whether you're, Buddha, God, whatever it is, the universe, like, I feel like as soon as you are very consistent and committed and you know that it's going to happen and you have that mindset, like, I feel like it's almost like gifts from the universe, whatever, call what you will. And it's like, hey, here's an idea. And it's like, you like wake up in the middle of the night with a dream. You're like, oh, this is cool. Yeah. Or you hear it on a podcast like you did today. And then now you put that gift basket together and you send it to a local CEO. I don't know. But Jenny, this is awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show today and inspiring our viewers, our listeners. Glad Dan got on, even though he had spotty connection, and you inspired him to take massive action. So now he's filming the video, and I might have to do it anyway. I'm not a licensed agent, but I might have to just do it just to test it and just use it for a testimonial.
There you go. Well, it was an honor being here, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Of course.
And I'll be looking for that video, Dan.
I'll get it up today.
Yeah. Send us the video link. We want to see it. If anyone who's listening and viewing wants to see it as well, this is going to be in the future. So Dan's video should be up for about 3-4 weeks or so. So now you can go back and you can look at his views and see how he did with that. We already know Jenny had 13,000 with hers, but I love how this just turned into a take massive action. And this is what you need to do today for our viewers and listeners. This is great. Awesome.
Great to meet you, Jenny.
Nice to meet you, Dan, and both of you guys. Norman, too. Thank you.
Thank you as well. So cool. Well, that concludes our show today. Do us a favor, subscribe, like the episode, comment below with what you learned from today's episode. And then big thanks to Liftoff for sponsoring the show, as it is our intention for you to take things from our episodes, apply to your business, have more massive success. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all on the next one.